Hey there, amazing work at home moms. Thank you for joining us here at the Mom Desk Club again. My name is Laurel and I am really excited to welcome you to my desk and have a chat with you about things that are just pertinent to being a work at home mom. We are now getting into the depths of season 3 where we are talking about work and wiggles and everything it means to be a work at home mom with toddlers around, which is a whole different ball game all on its own. It's a whole thing. It's a thing. So today we are going to dive into something that I think is very pertinent for today, mostly because we are going to be discussing all things being productive during nap time. And I think it's kind of ironic because that's when I actually do this, is during nap time. So grab your cup of coffee. There's real coffee in here. I'm like trying to be very careful and not spill it. Grab your coffee and let's just take 15 minutes to have a mom chat, talking about what it's like to be a work at home mom with toddlers and making the most out of nap time. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is just the power of nap time. This is the golden hour of a work at home mom's life. If you can even get an hour. There are some seasons, if I can squeak out 45 minutes, we're calling it a win. But then there are other seasons where I can get specific children to sleep for 3 hours in a day. And those moments, it's like angels are singing. It's fantastic. They're amazing. So the power of nap time, though, for a work at home mom is that those are some really key moments where you can get some good work in when everything is quiet, when the place is silent, when people aren't talking to you or asking you 50 questions. And it's really great if you can take advantage of those moments. So now that we understand the power of nap time, which I don't think I have to explain to you, I think as a work at home mom, you completely understand the benefit and the need for a solid nap time. Let's jump into some actual practical tips and tricks and strategies that you can use to make the most out of this one tiny stretch of time in your day, maybe 2 depending on the age of your baby, maybe more, and see what we can do as work at home moms to make the most of it. Okay, so now I want to talk to you about setting the stage for nap time as a work at home mom. There are a couple different facets to this. One facet is setting the stage for nap time. So you really want to make sure that you are setting up a really great environment for your children to take naps. Now, I have really good news for you because I have just released a freebie and a little guide that you can purchase that is all about nap time and being a work at home mom. What I have done to help ingrain in my children a better habit for nap time. Now, I'm not going to say we're perfect, but I will say that I have gotten myself down to a really solid routine. My oldest child took naps until she was 6. I still have a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old who take naps. And even she's 7 now, but the 7-year-old still takes quiet time with the boys for at least 30 minutes, maybe longer, just kind of depending. So we have a really good routine when it comes to nap time. And I feel like I've really nailed this down. So if you want any of those tips and tricks and hacks and tools and things that I have done to really make the most out of nap time and create a conducive environment for sleeping, we're going to put the link down in the comments. You can go and you can download some of those things and use them, and I hope that they are helpful for you. So one part of setting the stage is making sure that you're creating an environment where your kids are taking really good naps. Making sure that their rooms are set up appropriately, making sure that you have a good routine down for them, making sure that you have all the tools necessary in order to get a good nap time. The other part of setting the stage is making sure that you have everything set up for your work environment. So whether you have a desk or whether you have a countertop where you put your laptop or the dining room table, making sure that you have a space ready for working can be super helpful. But even more than that, I think the biggest thing is realizing and changing your routine, especially if you're a new work at home mom, to recognize, okay, nap time is coming. Nap time is going to start in about an hour. What do I need to do now so that whenever I do get said child or children down for their naps, I can have that free time? So that could mean that you're making your own lunch ahead of time. I used to use nap time as like this really great time to sit down and eat lunch by myself in the quiet. And that's great. There's a good season for that. But sometimes that can be very interrupting if you're actually wanting to get a lot of work done. So sit down and eat lunch with your children. Eat lunch with them, get your belly full, get your nourishment, get your energy. That way, once you get them to sleep, you can jump in and really get some good work done. Other things might involve getting certain chores done. Maybe if you really need to have the kitchen clean, or if you need to get some laundry swapped over. Don't do those things during nap time. Try as much as you can to get that kind of thing done before the kids fall asleep or after they wake up. Schedule it in those areas of your day so that you can use nap time for core work instead of having to kind of putter around the house and do chores, and then all of a sudden they wake up and you're like, I didn't get anything done. Make sure that you're setting the stage so that that time can be set aside for work, because it is a really great time to get some work done, I promise. Another thing you can do to really help set yourself up for nap time is to prioritize your tasks. So I know that we've talked about this a lot, because as a work-at-home mom, prioritizing tasks is really one of the key ways you're going to be able to get things done and start checking things off on your list and achieving goals. But if you know during the day, either the night before or first thing in the morning, if you kind of set your goals for the day, I need to make this many videos for social media, I need to plan this many posts for the day, I need to format these blogs, I need to fix this website, I need to work on this freebie, I need to reach out to these clients about a date that they have scheduled. Whatever plans you have for your day, make sure that you are clear on what you want to do. That way, when you sit down for nap time, you know exactly what is happening. When I very first started working from home and I had one, maybe two children, I was a social media coordinator at the time, and I was writing lots of blogs and lots of posts, and I would use nap time as the time when I would sit down and crank out as many blogs as I possibly could, because I didn't have the interruptions. And so I wasn't dealing with constant questions and interruptions and I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, dirty diaper changes, all those things that come with just being a mom. I didn't have those interruptions at nap time. So I saved those core things, those core priorities for nap time. I knew that as soon as that kid fell asleep, I'm going to run out, I'm going to sit down at my computer, and I'm going to crank out 4 blogs as fast as I can, and I'm not going to turn around and look back. I'm going to push the gas down and I'm going to run with it. Or I'm going to write 10 Facebook posts. And that way, once they woke up, if I still had tasks that needed to be done, or I still had hours that I needed to accomplish, I wasn't using awake time for those really focused moments. So by setting your priorities and setting your goals ahead of time, it can really help you really narrow in on what you want to get done during nap time. Okay, I know we talk about time blocking a lot, but I think that this can be really helpful for nap time, because especially if you've got a child who maybe is taking really long naps, which I run into every so often when they hit about 1 and 2 years old. They'll take this really big long nap in the day, they play a lot in the morning, they have lunch, they get their bellies full, and then you put them in bed, and it happens. I know if your kid doesn't do it, please don't hate me, because I know that feeling. I really do. So if your kid doesn't take these big 3-hour naps, it's okay. Mine doesn't all the time, and they don't do it all the time. It's just there's a couple days a week where I can generally expect a 3-hour nap from the youngest child, and he's the one that somehow requires an insane amount of work from me. I don't know why. You'd think it would be the older ones, and they do in some ways, but in different ways. So I don't know. So if you have a child like that who's taking these big 3-hour naps at least once during that day, using time blocking can really be helpful for you, because what I've noticed in myself is that I tend to start out with a really good powerhouse of energy, and I crank stuff out, and I'm going, and then all of a sudden I start to fizzle out. Especially if you've got a 3-hour block, that's actually a lot of time to be trying to focus in on working, and knowing that that's kind of your only time. So with time blocking, you can utilize your 3 hours in a very productive way by breaking it up into 25-minute increments, setting an alarm on your phone, and knowing, okay, I'm going to work on this blog for 25 minutes, then I'm going to stop for 5 minutes, and I'm going to go do something. Go get a drink of water, go to the bathroom, get up and get a snack if it's been a while since I've eaten, walk around my living room, go out and get the mail. If that's something that you're able to do, I can go out and get the mail and take the baby monitor with me. So that's an option potentially. Just do something, go stand on the deck and get some fresh air, whatever you need to do to kind of take a 5-minute break. Don't get on social media. Don't stay at your desk. I promise, please don't stay at your desk and open up Facebook. That is not a break. That's not going to help. And next thing you know, it'll be 45 minutes and you'll still be randomly stalking somebody that you went to high school with. And then the baby wakes up and you're like, what did I do with my time? Yeah. So don't do that. Do not use your break time for sitting at the computer and using Facebook. You're going to have to get up, and I'm talking to myself. So don't think that I'm just over here pretending like I have it all figured out. I only can tell you this because I've done it and I still do it. So time blocking can be helpful. Time blocking is where you work really hard for 25 minutes, you take 5 minutes for a break, and then you sit back down and do another 25 minutes. You could even extend those, and you could do 45 minutes. If you're really getting into a zone, you could extend your time block a little bit, do a longer time frame of work, and then maybe go down and walk on the treadmill for 15 minutes. Do different things like that to kind of help keep your brain stimulated, keep your body moving. Don't get stuck just sitting, because it can be really easy for nap time to be that time when you start zoning out and you start slacking off. And I only say that not in a judgmental way, because obviously everybody should be able to have time in their day where they're able to check out for a little bit, whether that be, listening to an audiobook or resting on the couch. Find ways, but do those things intentionally. Don't just fall into them by accident. Plan those intentional rest moments in your time blocking during nap time, instead of just falling into these random moments where you end up with wasted space and wasted time and then regretting it later. That's what I'm hoping to help, is the regret afterwards, because I've done that a lot. Okay, another thing that you can do to really maximize your time with nap time is to minimize interruptions. Now, you have obviously minimized a very big interruption, and that would be your child or children. But other interruptions could involve family, it could involve your phone, it could involve pets. That could be interruptions. Figure out ways to minimize interruptions during nap time, because this is going to be your core time. This is going to be when you're going to really crank out some stuff, get some things done. And if you can get things done ahead of time to keep you from being interrupted during nap time, you're probably going to feel a lot more productive with that nap time, with that set time in your day where you have people not asking you questions. So whatever you need to do, whether that means that you put your phone on do not disturb, whether that means that you're just not answering the door if somebody comes and knocks. Even just a little bit ago, UPS pulled up. I'm not going to go get the package. It's going to stay down there, or I'm going to send my daughter down for it. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to go down and answer the door. It's going to be fine. It'll take care of itself, and we'll deal with that later. So find ways to minimize distractions so that you can stay in the zone and that you can stay productive. Obviously, distractions are part of life. Sometimes things come up. But if there are things you can do to minimize distractions, it can be helpful. Okay, another thing that I think is really helpful to keep in mind, especially as a busy work-at-home mom, is there is this weird element of self-care during nap time. Now, we've already talked about this. I have weird hang-ups with the word self-care. I feel like people use it way too frequently in this day and age, and it's an opportunity to be very selfish and do really weird splurgy things that are not necessary. I'm talking about specifically taking care of your human body, which still needs care because you're not super mom, even if you feel like it sometimes, or if everybody thinks you are. Sometimes you need to do a few things to make sure you take care of yourself. I have utilized nap time for many different things over the years. Sometimes I crank workout during nap time. Sometimes I take naps during nap time because I need them. Sometimes I have taken that opportunity to work on a project that I've really wanted to work on. One of the things that I love to do is cross stitch. It's been something that I have done for a very long time, since I was a child, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of it, and I love finishing projects and I love working on projects. And so that's just one of the things that I enjoy doing. And I got into a spot at one point in my life as a mom and as a work-at-home mom where I realized I wasn't getting to do that project. I wasn't getting to work on my cross stitch project. I got a breath. All the talking now puts me out of breath now that I'm in like the third trimester. So I'm not actually tired. It's just there's this kid kicking in my lungs. So I was realizing that in this season, I wasn't getting to work on my cross stitch projects because I was working during nap time, and then I was working as soon as the kids went to bed and trying to get a bunch of work cranked out at that particular time in my life. And I had no time to work on these projects. So there was a season in my life where I was like, you know what? I have to work at night. There are certain hours and certain tasks that have to be done during that time of the evening. It was just the way the job was set up. So since that's what I have to do, I'm going to swap. And instead of sewing in the evenings like I used to and working during nap time like I used to, I am going to work on cross stitch during nap time. and then I'm going to work in the evenings. And that way I can still accomplish both things. I'm still getting that quiet moment. And so I would turn on a show that I'd been watching. I would sit down with my coffee and my cross stitch, and I would watch a show and I would cross stitch until somebody woke up and came and sat with me. And it was a really enjoyable season, and it worked really well for a little while. I didn't keep it up forever, obviously, but it was something that worked in that season. And sometimes that's what you have to realize as a work-at-home mom, is that you've got to be really flexible. There are going to be times when you're sick, and maybe nap time is when you are going to go take a really nice bath and try to relax, or you've got headaches and you need a nap time. You need a nap time. Like, sometimes mom just needs a nap time. So maybe you plan your nap during nap time, or maybe you're utilizing nap time as a way to catch up with people that you don't get to normally talk to because you're so busy through the day. The point is that you don't always have to use nap time as this hustle. You can, and it's a great time to get some work done, because normally, especially if you're getting other tasks done during the day or when your kids are awake or in the evening, you might have a lot of time for nap time where you could build a really amazing business or put in hours for a company that you're working for. It can be a great time, but also don't get so stuck in that hustle mentality that you think, oh, I have to use nap time for working all the time and I can't ever give myself a break. We've kind of talked about this before, but you're a work-at-home mom because you want the flexibility to work and to be a mom and to be a human. You want the flexibility. So make sure you're utilizing that flexibility and not just being cruel to yourself. And finally, I want you to celebrate small wins. I know how frustrating it is to feel like you've just sat down, you've just gotten everything settled up for working, maybe you've cranked out one little piece off of your to-do list, and all of a sudden you hear the baby crying in the monitor, or the toddler comes walking out of the bedroom, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just put them down. It was 45 minutes. I only got 45 minutes. I only got 20 minutes. It's really frustrating. But you can still celebrate the small wins because you still got something done in those 20 minutes. Or you still got a chance to sit down and drink a whole glass of water and eat your lunch during nap time, even though you didn't get things done that you wanted to get done. Find ways to celebrate those small wins, to take pleasure and pride in the things that you're accomplishing, because you're not just a working machine. You're a mom who has creativity and smarts and things that you want to invest in and things you want to do. And maybe you didn't get to do them all today. It happens. That's just kind of part of it. And maybe tomorrow you'll be able to get it done. Or maybe after they go to bed tonight, you can sit down and do a few more things off of your to-do list, and that will make you feel a little more productive. But I want you to just celebrate what you've done and realize that that is a big deal. It's okay. Even if it was just a little thing, that's still better than nothing at all. So it's still a big deal, and you still did great. All right, there we have it. There's my comprehensive guide on how to maximize and get the most out of nap time, especially when you've got babies and toddlers that you have at home with you while you're working from home. Nap time is an amazing opportunity. You can do a lot with it. You could rest with it. You could build a business with it. There's a lot of different things you could do. And I think it's really cool that you're using nap time as a way to build a business or to earn income for your family, because it's just really, it's a neat opportunity. Like I said, I'm going to put a link down in the description below, and you can grab my freebie for the amazing nap time tools that I have relied on for the last 7-ish years. But I'm also going to have a link for the little mini guide that you can purchase that has all of my tips and tricks for how to get kids sleeping, how to get good solid nap time routines in. And this goes from newborn all the way up to childhood and incorporating quiet time into your child's life. So I hope you find that helpful. I hope that's something that you can use, and I really look forward to talking to you in our next episode as we explore all of these different crazy things that you run into as a work-at-home mom with toddlers around. Now, you might have a few more minutes of nap time, so I hope that you are able to crank out a few more things, get a few more things done before everybody starts waking up. You better know I'm doing the same thing. So, see ya. I really hope that you're able to join us next time, because we are going to talk about interactive and interpretive play with children and being a work at home mom. So I'm going to divulge all of my amazing strategies and tips and tricks for how I keep my kids busy and how I keep them playing so that I can still do some work throughout the day and I don't have to just limit all of my work just to nap time. So I really hope we see you next time.